What if the most powerful man in the world wasn't just a liar, a bully, and a would-be tyrant, but a man whose mind is crumbling like a sand castle at high tide? Imagine the Oval Office not as a command center, but a memory care ward where the patient-in-chief wanders lost between delusions of grandeur and blank stares of confusion. And here's the punchline that's not funny. Donald J. Trump, the 79-year-old stable genius who conned his way back into the White House, is unraveling before our eyes, exhibiting all the hallmarks of mild, cognitive impairment spiraling toward full-blown dementia, and his enablers are covering it up with the zeal of cult priests hiding a false idol's decay. Not since the fevered paranoia of Richard Nixon, tape recorder whirring in the dark as he plotted against shadows, has the American presidency been a stage for such grotesque denial. But yesterday's Oval Office fiasco, caught on unflinching video as a guest collapsed in a heap of human frailty, exposed the farce in Technicolor. Trump didn't spring into action. He froze, then wandered off like a lost tourist in his own house, staring vacantly into the abyss of a camera lens. The feed cut to color bars faster than Fox News can spin a massacre into a hoax. This isn't leadership. It's a slow-motion train wreck, and the mainstream media, those once vigilant watchdogs, now neutered lapdogs, averts its gaze for fear of MAGA howls or billionaire muzzles. Buckle up, America. We're dissecting the evidence, piece by damning piece, until the puzzle forms a portrait of unfitness so glaring, even the blind loyalists might squint. Let's start at the ground level, literally, with Trump's ankles, those swollen sentinels of vascular doom. Remember the photos from his early second-term rallies? The man who once bragged about his perfect physique now shuffles on stage with cankles that scream peripheral artery disease, a condition where blood vessels clog like the arteries in a fast food diet. Vascular deficiency isn't just a fashion faux pas, it's a harbinger. Experts like Dr. Narendra Kapoor, a neuropsychologist at University College London, have flagged Trump's odd and strange gait as a red flag for neurological unraveling. When blood flow falters in the legs, it often mirrors the same blockages upstream in the brain. Vascular dementia, the slow strangulation of cognition by starved neurons. Trump dismisses it with tales of fake news doctors, but the swelling isn't photoshopped. It's a symptom, plain as the orange spray tan hiding his pallor. And oh, the irony. The man who mocked Joe Biden's slow walk now lists like a ship taking on water. His shuffle isn't swagger. It's the hesitant creep of someone whose motor control is glitching. Clinical psychologists compiling vignettes from 2025 alone note this as part of a longitudinal pattern of decline. Gait instability, slurred starts to words, that phonemic paraphasia where he begins a sentence and trails into nonsense, and a vocabulary shrinking faster than the national debt under his tax cuts for the rich. Cornell's own experts call his impulsive DJ stunts at rallies, abruptly spinning records mid-speech, a hallmark of accelerating cognitive decline, the kind where impulse overrides reason because the frontal lobes, those executive suites of the brain, are going dark. Picture it. Trump, the self-proclaimed deal-maker, fumbling basic motor tasks while plotting to buy Greenland or nuke hurricanes. Satirical? No, tragicomedy. America's clown prince reduced to a vaudeville act, tripping over his own feet on the world stage. But don't take my word. Let's consult the family tree. Trump's father, Fred, succumbed to Alzheimer's. That genetic time bomb ticking in 15-20% of folks over 65. Heredity isn't destiny, but when paired with a lifetime of cheeseburgers, Diet Cokes laced with who knows what stimulants, and the chronic stress of dodging indictments, it's a cocktail for catastrophe. Vascular woes in the extremities? That's the brain's canary in the coal mine. Chirping warnings ignored by a White House medical team more loyal to the man than to medicine. Fast forward to Trump's annual checkups, those biannual farces billed as routine but reeking of desperation. In April 2025, just months into his second term, the White House trotted out Dr. Sean Barbabella's report, Excellent Health, a perfect 30-30 on the Montreal Cognitive Assessment, MOCA, and nary a whiff of impairment. Trump crowed about it like he'd aced the bar exam, challenging critics to try it yourself, it's very hard. But here's the satirical gut punch. The Moquet isn't an IQ test. It's a 10-minute screener for dementia, designed to spot early fog in memory, attention, and visuospatial skills. Questions like draw a clock or name these animals, lion, rhino, camel, Trump nailed him allegedly, are kindergarten stuff for the sharp-minded, but red flags for the fading. Why the obsession? Adam Cochran, that sharp-eyed analyst, nailed it. 6-month MRIs aren't for the hale and hearty. They're for monitoring severe progressions of Alzheimer's or vascular dementia. Trump underwent one in October 2025 at Walter Reed, emerging to boast of another perfect score on what he called a very hard IQ test. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez quipped on X, "Did they ask you to draw a clock?" Asking for 340 million people. The confusion? It's not gaffe. It's giveaway. Neurologist Ziad Nasruddin, Mosier's creator, has begged, "This isn't about IQ, it's for impairment." Trump conflating the two? That's the patient dictating the diagnosis. A narcissistic fever dream where denial is doctrine. Psychiatrists like Dr. John Gartner don't mince words. Overwhelming evidence of dementia, from confabulations, inventing facts to fill memory holes, to tangential rants that loop like a scratched record. In 2025 alone, we've got Trump claiming his uncle knew the Unabomber. He didn't. Or monologuing about windmills driving whales loco during a G7 chat, unprompted, endless, evidence-free. The Guardian's experts call it confabulation, that dementia tell where reality warps to fit the ego. And the MRIs? Not routine. Their radar for brain shrinkage, plaques, and tangles, the Alzheimer's autopsy before death. Trump's team leaks no issues, but the frequency screams cover-up. If he's so sharp, why the monthly tune-ups? Because the stable genius is leaking genius like a sieve. Satire demands exaggeration, but reality outpaces it. Imagine Reagan's Alzheimer's whispers in his sunset years. Trump's is noonday bellows, amplified by truth social tantrums. He brags of acing tests he can't name right, mocks opponents as low IQ while his speeches devolve into word salads, 8 circles of journalists. No one, not even his handlers, can decode that gibberish. It's not age, it's atrophy. At 79, he's the oldest president ever, surpassing even the actuarial odds, yet his enablers, Ronnie Jackson, that quack-turned congressman, parrot sharper than ever, lies layered on lunacy, a White House echo chamber where truth is the enemy. Now, the whispers from the West Wing, paper signs sprouting like bureaucratic weeds, labeling rooms and routes as if the Oval Office were a nursing home wing. Oval Office, this way. Cabinet room briefings only. Jimmy Fallon lampooned it. The government's shut down, but Kinko's is humming. But the joke lands like a gut punch. Social media sleuths, those digital Woodwards and Bernsteins, connect the dots. This is Memory Care 101, standard for dementia patients prone to wandering. Biden quipped, "Even I didn't need maps to my own bathroom, but Trump's team? They're papering over cracks in the facade. Tied to this, the infamous mysterious walk on the West Wing roof, Trump ambling aimlessly, aides trailing like sheepdogs herding a wayward grandpa. Was it a photo op? A security breach? No, per insiders leaked to The Atlantic, a reset after a briefing overload where the boss blanked on the exit. In dementia wards, they call it sundowning, evening confusion when shadows lengthen and cognition frays. For Trump, it's 24/7, subsidized by Sharpies and sympathy. Vivid vignette. Envision the resolute desk, that sturdy symbol of resolve, now ringed with cheat sheets the size of billboards. Say beautiful after tariffs. Ukraine aid, yes, no. Staffers, those modern-day Zolas in denial, whisper of good days and off moments, but the signs betray them. Aides usher reporters out during lulls, citing technical difficulties, while Trump slouches, jaw slack, eyes glazing like a fish on ice. Asymmetry in his face? Classic stroke residue or Bell's palsy mimic, but in context, it's the portrait of Dorian Gray, youthful bluster masking inner rot. The media, crickets. CNN soft pedals. MSNBC murmurs. Fox fabricates fitness montages. Why? Retribution fears, MAGA boycotts bankrupt advertisers, or oligarch overlords like Murdoch pulling strings. It's Watergate inverted. Not investigative glory, but collective cowardice. Remember Woodward and Bernstein toppling Nixon? Today's press corps is Bernstein without the bite, sloughing evidence like yesterday's news. But yesterday, November 6, 2025, the dam cracked. An Oval Office summit on slashing GLP-1 drug prices, ironic given Trump's pharma-fueled vigor rumors, devolved into drama when a Novo Nordisk exec, Gordon Findlay, collapsed mid-pitch. Video, raw and relentless, captures the chaos. Attendees swarm. Dr. Oz, that TV doc turned CMS head, rushes in with theatrical flair. But Trump? He rises, stares blankly as if processing a Jeopardy clue, then drifts away, arms limp, gaze locking on a camera like it's an old friend he can't quite place. Apathy, not empathy deficit, screams the clinicians. In a crisis resetting the cognitive parameters, per Gartner, Trump unmoored, dazed, directionless, the room's script erased from his mental hard drive. He doesn't assist. He absents. Then, the cut. Fox and Newsmax slammed color bars not black, a telltale sign of frantic feed fiddling. Staffers herd press like cattle. Move, now! While cameras roll on, lest the void go dark. Why? Because the president, unscripted, is unrecognizable. Slack-jawed, asymmetric, a wax figure melting under Klieg lights. The photo that went viral. Trump frozen, Findlay felled behind him, defines the absurdity. Stephen Colbert nailed it, surrounded by pharma execs in a medical emergency. Perfect. But beneath the late-night laughs, terror. This man commands nukes, deploys troops, signs bills in a fog. RFK Jr. scampered like a spooked aide. Oz played hero. Trump wandered. X exploded with takes. Lacks empathy. No, worse, lacks executive function. The feed's hasty hack job? Panic over proof, lest America see the emperor's empty eyes. Added up, swollen vessels, starving synapses. Biannual brain scans chasing ghosts. Directional post-its in Power's palace. Rooftop rambles. And now viral vacancy. Mild cognitive impairment? That's the polite veneer. MCI morphs to Alzheimer's in half of cases within 5 years. Dementia? Overwhelming, Pratap shrinks like Gartner. Perseveration, filler words, grandiosity unchecked. Trump's not leading. He's lost. A malignant narcissist whose ego balloons as cognition collapses, paranoia pulsing like a migraine. This isn't accident. It's architecture. Trump's inner circle, Susie Wiles, Dan Scavino, the revolving door of sycophants, stages the spectacle, scripting sound bites, spiking stories. Remember first-term whispers from Kelly Mattis. Unfit, unstable. Now, hushed horrors from aides leaking anonymously. He's declining fast. We manage moments. No whistleblowers emerge. Not from courage's lack, but calculation. Loyalty, please? It's royalties. Tell-all tomes like Omarosa's, but amplified. Bannon plots podcasts. Ivanka eyes influencers. They'll spill post-plunge from Mar-a-Lago exile or, God's forbid, Leavenworth if emoluments bite. The White House physician Barbabella parrots perfection, but cracks show, bruises on hands, blood thinners for vascular woes. Cancelled 60 Minutes, too unscripted for the unhinged. Google accused of burying Trump dementia searches. AI demurs on Biden but dodges Don. A tech twist on media malaise. Why the blackout? Fear, retweets as reprisals, lawsuits as lassos. Owners, Bezos, Murdoch, muzzle for market share. It's Nixon's plumbers digitized, leaks plugged, truth toilet papered, satirized the savagery. Trump's MAGA minions, those red-hatted zombies chant, "Lock her up." while their hero locks himself in loops. QAnon shamans divine deep state dementia plots. Evangelicals pray away the plaques. But evidence mounts. Podcasts of pros like Mindsight News, Duty to Warn, 50 experts signing, perseverates like a dementia patient. The risk? Nuclear codes and noodle arms. Gartner warns. Grave danger, we're at the cliff's edge. One impulsive tweet, one foggy finger on the button, and poof, Armageddon is afterthought. Zoom out. This isn't just Trump's tragedy. It's our national nervous breakdown. His leadership? A vacuum where vision should be. Tariffs tank wages, real pay flat since May, inflation gnawing gains, yet he babbles, wages up 5K for miners. Lies or lapses? Foreign policy? Rants on Venezuela, Senate blocking strikes sans Congress, only Paul and Murkowski dare defy. Netanyahu's trial? Unfair, we'll help. From a man who'd pardon war crimes between naps. Domestically, the cruelty compounds. Project 2025's blueprint. Billionaire wet dream. Gut social security for sundowning swells. Immigrants demonized as eating pets. That Hannibal Lecter fever dream, while Trump's own strange gait mocks empathy. Women? Your kid comes home operated on. Trans panic from a patriarch projecting frailty. Economy booms for the few. Crumbles for the rest. Shutdowns, stretch records, SNAP slashed, veterans' cancer care curtailed by his biological reality edicts. The personality? Malignant narcissism on dementia's dime, grandiose threats, I'll be a dictator day one. The paranoid purges, firing disloyal like yesterday's trash, exploitative everything, grifting Bibles, sneakers, steaks. Vividly, Trump at a rally, swaying to YMCA for 40 minutes. Silent, stiff, a metronome of malaise. Not joy, disconnection. His beautiful walls? Crumbling like his recall. Covfefe was cute. Now it's confabulation catastrophe, emotional indictment. This man who birthed January 6th's blood now endangers democracy daily. Cognitive collapse disinhibits the worst. Impulses unchecked, rages raw. We're not voters. Victims, hostages to a hostage-taker's haze. The 25th Amendment dangles uninvoked. Vance licks lips, Musk maneuvers. But who pulls the trigger when the trigger puller's trigger happy? Conclusive? Undeniably. Mild impairment at best, unfit for flight, let alone flight commander-in-chief. Dementia probable. Patterns persist, pros prescribe. Cover-up criminal, hiding health from we the people, echoing Nixon's